We're here at NOCO Hemp Expo in Loveland, Colorado. It's the 5th Hemp Expo that they put on here, and I'm here to tell the story of what we're up to in Africa, mostly South Africa and Malawi, and to focus on sharing our journey so far and the stories that I have to tell all of these people, and also to learn, to see where the industry's at, look at new technology on processing, on all the new products that have come out, where the demand is, so that we can really tailor-make our industry in South Africa and in Malawi to an international market. I've been in hemp since 1996. It's the first time I touched some hemp fabric, a piece of hemp canvas. We started making bags back then because it was such a nice, tough material, and obviously we liked the plant, cannabis in the first place, so we thought we'd do some more honor to it by making it into sustainable products. And the more we learned about the plant, the more we saw that it's a huge opportunity for Africa to deal with the baseline of the hierarchy of needs: jobs, houses, food, medicine. And we've been lobbying ever since to try and change the law in Africa to allow Africa to grow industrial hemp. The biggest obstacle for us at the moment is that we still import most of our raw materials. So because South Africa doesn't allow us to grow commercially yet, we listen, unfortunately, to the federal government of the United States, and until they change the viewpoint on industrial cannabis, we in Africa will probably have to follow suit. So we have to import our textiles from China, our building materials from UK and France. The seeds and oil come from Canada. Cannabinoids come from Colorado, the CBD. So it's very much a huge stumbling block for us to really build our market, because everything is at least 3 months away from us. We need a product, we have to order it. It takes about 2 to 3 months to get to us. So that's been a huge challenge, because it also pushes up the price. So we have to sit in a niche of people who can really afford to buy hemp products because they like it. Whereas where we'd ultimately like to be working is building houses for people who don't have houses, feeding people who have a really terrible diet, omega fatty acids into people with HIV and TB. That's where the real work that we want to do is, but we're stuck in this advocacy and half a company and half an advocacy endeavor. So it's not that easy as obviously as a pioneer you have to tell the story as well as try and sell the products. It's not just selling products, it's this whole energy behind to tell the story, and that can be quite draining, especially when you're trying to be sustainable in business first. We preach sustainability, but you actually have to do the business part first in order to be able to sustain yourself, to tell the story. So there are a couple of challenges that we've faced and that I think we've overcome. One of the other things, advice I give to people who want to get into this industry now, is we fell into what I call the hemp trap. That this plant is so versatile and it can make so many products that the natural inclination is, I want to do it all. And we at Hemporium, we do clothing and textile import and accessories and body care products and food products and building materials and lobbying, and also doing some farming and research. And it spreads our energies very thin. Instead of saying, right, we're just going to be the best hemp clothing company or the best hemp building company or the best hemp cosmetic company, and focusing all the energy on that. But we took a different path because we had set up our goal to change the perception around this plant. And we never wanted to be the biggest hemp clothing company. We want to be the people who empower local farmers to grow and give the demand to local farmers in South Africa, so that we can revitalize our rural economy and provide jobs and houses and food in a country that really needs it. At Emporium, we've created a flagship store recently, about a year and a half ago, where you'll come in. All of our products are on display, obviously, all of our own products that we do, all our clothing, body care products, accessories, but we put it in an environment where it is displayed like it should be displayed. We have cork on the floors, we've got hempcrete on the walls. All of our shop fittings are made from sustainably forested wood, sourced within about 10 miles from where our shop is. We do the full range. We've got an educational corner with all the hemp building samples. We show videos there. We do talks there twice a month. It's an environment where you'll step in, and if you don't know anything about industrial cannabis or hemp, you will walk out and you would have at least touched and felt 5 or 6 different iterations of the plant. and you would have been educated, and you will see that it's so much more than smoke. You know, I call it like look behind the smoke screen. Just see all of these other products, and the best way to do that is to get people to touch and feel it. So to really get products into people's hands and they go, wow, this has got value, this has got gravitas. I've only ever thought about smoke when I thought about this plant. And we can put products into their hands that really shift that paradigm and let them see everything this plant can offer. Okay, so right now, if I had to count, I'm wearing a hemp shirt, hemp and organic cotton shirt. This is my hemp suit that I got married in. This is hemp and organic cotton, that's hemp and silk. I'm wearing hemp boxer shorts, hemp pants, I've got hemp socks, and I'm wearing my trusty belt bag, which I use when I'm traveling, also made out of hemp. And just to explain how I've created my life is I wake up sleeping under hemp bed linen, I step onto hemp carpets, I open the curtains of my house which are made from hemp, I go and shower and I wash with hemp soap and shampoo, use hemp moisturizer afterwards in my hemp house that is made with hempcrete, hemp insulation, hemp chipboard for all the cupboards. Go downstairs, we'll make a smoothie with hemp seeds and hemp seed oil, and then go to work at my hemp company, which is providing these products for a whole lot of other people. So I've really created a whole hemp life for myself. But what I really pray is that I'm not an alternative in the future, that I'm not seen as someone who's being different, because everyone can lead this hemp life. And if we all led this hemp life, we'd have a much lower impact on our planet. We'd have a much better option of having a green future, of being able to really be sustainable on this planet and have an efficient use of resources, be able to really have products that biodegrade, that do break down, that are digestible to the planet and to our bodies, and to have healthy medicine as well, that not only can help us when we get sick, but if we have it on a daily basis, can also stop us getting sick in the first place. So that hemp life is something that I cultivated, but the nice thing is that it's through the work that we've done, we're making it available to many other people too. Myself and I've got my business partner, Duncan Parker, and we've got our commercial director, Philip Moore. We all get this question all the time is, can I smoke your shirt? Ha ha ha. That's a question every hempster gets. They said, you have to answer this like, no, you can't smoke the shirt. You can maybe smoke my socks, but they'll prove you as crazy as you are. That's the one question that we get the most, is like trying to break that stigma around hemp, break the deep connection to the smoking side, because unfortunately when people see that, they don't see the rest. So that's one of the questions that we get a lot of times. Now something has shifted though recently, and more we're getting questions from people who want to get involved in the industry. So it used to just be students and the occasional journalist who'd be interested in our story. Now it's a lot of business people. So I had to also change how I respond, because before when people would approach us, they would want to know more about hemp and what's it good for, and how they can use it and how they can support us. Now it's like, so where do you source the hemp fabric from, and where are you going to grow, and how do you ship it, and how do you get it in here? And you're like, hold on, it took us a lot of time and energy to get that knowledge. So we're doing consultancies now, and the consultancies include, if you buy from us after the consultancy, we take the consultancy fee off the first bill. But if you're just coming to try and get information from us that cost us a lot of money to make, you've got to give something in exchange. And I think this is a lot of people are battling with this, especially in the eco industry, where you're supposed to be doing good. Everyone expects you to give it away for free. And we need to change that perception. We have to see that it's not mutually exclusive to do well and do good. Like people see that, oh, you can't make money if you're an environmentalist. That should be the opposite way around. If you are looking after the planet for more than just yourself, for a whole lot of other people, you should be on the front page of The Economist. You should be celebrated. We need to change the people that we celebrate and the people that we support and the people that we empower to be successful, with not only money, because with money, if you're truly in a sustainable mindset, that you will use that money for good. You can keep it flowing. So we just need to make sure it flows to the people with the right intentions, and not be martyrs. See that it's actually okay to do good business at the same time as doing good for the planet. With the deep racial history and issues in South Africa, obviously at the moment we're still dealing with the richer people who can afford the hemp products, and that's mostly the white people in South Africa. The African, where the work really needs to be done, is still mostly an impoverished part of the society. So they really like what we're doing, but obviously sometimes can't afford to buy hemp seeds that have come all the way from Canada. So we have this issue at the moment where we know that's where the people who need the licenses to grow need to be the rural farmers, the emerging farmers. There's a movement to say that cannabis is only for Africans, and if you want to have a license in South Africa, you need to have at least 70% or at least 51% black ownership, all of this kind of thing, affirmative action. But I see the points of that, but cannabis is for everyone. And it isn't even indigenous to Africa. It came there, so it's not like they can really claim it and say, right, this is only for Africans. It is for everyone. What we need to ensure is that everyone's got equal opportunities. How we want to work as Emporium is we realize we're not a farming company. So we can contract African farmers, your black farmers, to farm for us. And in that way enable them to get the demand, we'll be able to give technology transfer, make sure they've got the right equipment to get it into the format that we want. And that way we can really start building relationships and cooperation. But it is quite a deep issue. I mean, obviously all around the world racial issues are deep, but South Africa is very much pronounced. So we have to look at the traditional communities like the Rastafarian community. They've been keeping this knowledge alive, and they've been the most persecuted for it. You know, anyone with dreadlocks is the first the cop's going to go. If he needs an easy arrest, he's going to go after a dreadlock a Rasta. So that community needs to be, first of all, they need to find freedom, because they're just saying, let us use this plant. It's in our religion, it's in our culture, we want to be able to do it, and they're the ones who are getting the most persecuted. So there needs to be obviously acknowledgement and support given to those communities who have held the knowledge of this plant for so long under deep prosecution. And I'm not saying that's exclusively Rasta or black or colored or white. There are a lot of communities, traditional healers, there's natural healers, there's even your average stoner who's also been living in fear, growing his few plants inside of he's been learning, he's been understanding, but living in complete fear. So what we have to see is that fear space drop away, and to start treating people with dignity, and to see, yes, if they do get into problems with this plant, because it can happen if you are abusing it, that we can support them how to get out of trouble, not give them more trouble by getting now a criminal record and thrown in jail. So there are all these deep issues that are tied in, and in many ways the cannabis industry and the changes that are being made now are the front line of challenges that we're all going to fight around sustainability and natural medicines and biodegradability and all of these. All the issues are right at the forefront, but it's not the only place that we're fighting these. We are fighting it for our food, we're fighting it for our natural environment, and this cannabis industry or the cannabis sector is really just one part of a very crucial move back to natural products, plant-based medicine, working with nature, respecting each other, taking some deep breaths, slowing down, and really having a look around to realize that we need to enjoy this space and not actually destroy it. We have some people in the government who really support what we're doing, and specifically the Department of Trade and Industry. They see the opportunities for job creation, for investment, for all of this, but unfortunately our Department of Health, they're still coming at it from a control, how do we control this? And also looking at it from a pharmaceutical, medical mindset, that this needs to be done under huge controlled conditions, and the barrier to entry that they're setting up is $2 to $3 million for a facility to meet the requirements that they're setting for medical grade cannabis. And the industrial side is falling behind. You know, South Africa started research into industrial cannabis in 1996, pretty much the same time as Canada, before Australia, before the UK, and we're still in research. So we've stagnated in research, unfortunately, which is something that can happen quite easily because researchers like to have more research. They get more budget. They say, oh, we need more research. Can we have some more budget for next year? So just carried on more research, and that's what we need to break that cycle now. And there are people, as I said, in the government who are seeing the opportunities, but we need to challenge our law, and that's happening in the Constitutional Court. There are 2 cases in front of the Constitutional Court that are challenging the constitutionality of our law that says cannabis, the whole plant, any product thereof is an undesirable dependence-producing substance. This is a cannabis product. Yeah, I'm wearing a couple of 100 grams of cannabis on me right now. According to that law, I should be arrested. But it's all around that one word, undesirable. Undesirable to who? You know, they put this word undesirable because there were undesirable people who smoked the cannabis and marijuana or dacha in South Africa. Undesirable people use this. There's no recognized use for this plant. We need to break that and say we desire it very much. I desire it very much, to wear it, to live in it, to eat it, to use it for medicine, whatever I choose. And who are you to tell me it's undesirable? So that word is the key word in this, because dependence producing is fine. I depend on this to keep me warm. You know, I depend on water to keep me hydrated. I depend on my house for shelter. That's dependence producing, but undesirable is this word that we need to actually throw out when it comes to this plant, because clearly there are billions of people on this planet who desire it very much. InViGrow is a fantastic project in Malawi. It's a very important project to my heart. Tanya, who started InViGrow, approached me I think probably about 5 years ago to say she wanted to get hemp going in Malawi. And as I meet people all the time who say they're going to do certain things, but she has really gone out and done it. She's done the trials with the government. We've been growing it there, looking at replacing some of the products for deforestation, you know, the cutting down of trees in Malawi for charcoal, for making bricks. They use trees to power the kilns for brick making. All of that can be changed by hemp. And also obviously the food side, and then the CBD for malaria, for recovery from malaria. And it's just, she's been a wonderful partner, because she's a fire starter. She's gone out there, she's done it, she's worked with the government, she showed that we can abide by regulations if needed. She's shown that the plant can do it, and with a lot, just support from family and friends, and going out there and doing it. So I really salute Tanya as a partner and as a pioneer. Anyone who's been to try and do business in Africa will know it works very differently to Canada or the States or Europe. It's very frustrating a lot of the time. The rate of change and progress is a lot slower, so you need a lot of perseverance and patience and understanding. And sometimes you just you have to get out. And she comes down to Cape Town for a bit of a break sometimes. And right now she's also pregnant, so she's going to have a little hemp baby, which we're very excited about. A future eco warrior. So very, very excited for Malawi, the poorest country in the world by GDP at the moment. But we're hoping that with this plant being grown there, maybe one day they won't be reliant on 60% of their GDP being foreign aid, that they'll be able to generate a lot of jobs, a lot of investments, and tell the funders, the grants, we don't need you anymore, we've got cannabis. What I see here gives me a lot of hope, to see how fast this industry has grown and just how many people are surviving off it in a relatively small state. 4 million people, I think, in Colorado, and there's so many jobs that have been created, so much industry. So that gives me a lot of hope, and also seeing the change in the people that who support us. Where it used to be kind of all the wear what you smoke market who really loved the clothing because it was what they love to smoke. Now it's everyone from average person coming into our shop is some days 65 to 85. The people are really opening their minds and seeing this plant for what it is, and that gives me a lot of hope. I don't have to tell. I don't hear that wear what you smoke. Can I smoke your shirt question so much anymore. People are understanding the issues. Laws are changing. Markets are opening up. So I've got a lot of hope, and it's great because for a long time I thought I might be a little bit crazy. Like everyone was like, "Oh, what are you talking about? Making houses from marijuana and clothes from weed?" And now people come and say, "Oh, how did you see this coming?" So that's a good feeling that we weren't crazy. We weren't just out there trying to legalize weed. People can see that, and it's not just stoners, it's engineers, architects, doctors, scientists who are now getting access to this plant. And that's actually the most amazing thing for me to see over the last few years. For nearly 100 years, no one could research this plant. No one had access to look at the fiber, look at the cannabinoids, look at the food side. All of a sudden now you're getting people who are proper researchers, proper scientists, looking at it, having access to the raw material. And we're just seeing an increase like this of products, of new uses, of new medicines, and that's very, very exciting.
Yeah, I'm Yudi Anguraito. I'm a driver with Uber. I'm in Denver, Colorado. I live in Aurora, around Peoria and Alameda, call it Aurora Hills community. Definitely, I'm not agree with cannabis in my neighborhood. Just because, yeah, I'm not a user, and then for me, something's not right if you let the store or is in our neighborhood, because so many young people. I disagree 100%. I pick up two youngsters. They're from one motel by Peoria and I-70s. They really have that smell, marijuana, really distinct smell. And then inside my car, on the way to the airport, they even still really busy to stick or to repackage their stuff in their laundry, their dirty laundry, like shirts and stuff. And then it's so obvious. I'm assuming probably the checking is not really tight at the airport, so they have their dare to bring them with them in their luggage. One of them is a girl, so young. So when I pick her up, I ask, "You don't have a luggage?" "Oh no, I just have a layover a little bit." And I find out the destination to drop her off is one of the dispensary at I-70s and Dahlia. So she was just, with the still like a really nice outfit, but she didn't bring anything but the purse. But I know once I drop her off at that, yeah. But she didn't ask. Normally they don't say, find me dispensaries because I want. They just already knew where they're going. Some of them to the I-70s area, some of them by Peoria and I-225. There's several of them I think they already knew what kind of cannabis they ordered, and then they're going over there, and I'll just drop them off. Right away, I don't like it, but I can't do anything because they're my passenger. But I know once I drop them off, and usually I have my sprayer. I usually just spray my seat in the back. Is with the orange smell or lemon smell. I always have one. So every time I want to make sure it's going to be that kind of standard smell, not the marijuana smell, because it's like attached. So but I never make confront them with I don't like your smell, or I open the window just because of that. No, that's not my decision. Usually after I drop them off, I just clean them and spray my bags. So the one that I know, if you have cannabis in Indonesia, you grow it in your house, you're gonna have a death penalty. Until right now, it's so extreme over there. That's totally illegal. That's death penalty, and then they can use it just told how many pounds. They even have that number. If you have this in town, it's going to be how many years, and then the maximum is going to be that penalty.